Finance protocol Usual recently introduced a new stablecoin project backed by real-world assets. Joining us now to discuss is Usual CEO Pierre Person. Pierre, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Jennifer.
I have so many questions for you, but let's start with the stablecoin project USD0. Talk to me about the project and what it is.
Yeah, the idea, like you said, it's to back and create a new stablecoin, new type of stablecoin collateralized by real-world asset. So the idea is to offer more transparency, more fairness from the fiat-backed stablecoin market. So the idea is to have a stablecoin that is trustable by people, that is stronger in terms of collateral, not exposed to commercial bank, and to avoid any bankruptcy. So the idea first is to offer some security for the market. And the other thing is that we want to redistribute the revenue. So one of the principal aspect of Usual is how we can align the interest of all the participants, the holder of the stablecoin, also people who provide liquidity. And so we have created some great tokenomics in order to help people to receive the fair value of the holdings.
Break this down even further for me. Talk to me a little bit more about the problem with traditional fiat-backed stablecoins and how you're addressing this with real-world assets.
Yeah, mainly fiat-backed stablecoins just are like banks, just like commercial banks. They hold the liquidity of their clients. They issue just some debt, and this debt is the stablecoin itself. But they just privatize the profit. Tether has made $4 billion of revenue in 2023. And this is great, but this is the money of the user. So the idea behind Usual is to have a real-world asset, so collateral that is stronger than the liquidity behind all fiat-backed stablecoin, and to redistribute the value to the holder.
And for the audience, break down what real-world assets means to you. What does it mean to have a stablecoin backed by a real-world asset?
So it's mainly short-term asset, treasury bill from the United States. So very much safe asset where there is no much volatility behind that. So the actual market is just tokenizing real-world asset, and we use that to compose the DeFi 2.0. So we are a composable stablecoin that is permissionless, and the idea is to bridge the real-world asset liquidity, so the liquidity from the real world, the TradFi, to DeFi. And this is much the opportunity from this new market where the tokenization of real-world asset is a great opportunity. And so we are trying to create a new stablecoin that is safer for people.
Part of the, thesis of it being safer is this governance token called Usual as well. Talk to me about the governance token and how folks are going to be able to participate in that and the profits of the company.
Absolutely. So maybe in the next month, Circle will make an IPO. And the idea is to have a new model that is just fair and allow people to take part of the governance of the stablecoin. So shareholders of Circle maybe just decide about the policy of Circle. And we want to try to make our best to have let's say a system that is fully decentralized, that offers the possibility through Usual governance token to take part of the governance, maybe to decide what type of collateral they want, how the policy of the stablecoin will be evolving in the future, and how we would redistribute the value behind the revenue of the company.
Could the governance token be considered a security? I'm not sure exactly. I can't keep up with how fast regulation is changing all over the world. It's very slow here in the United States. But is there a scenario in which this governance token is considered a security?
I don't think so. We are like many governance tokens on the market. So the idea is to redistribute the power of behind the token and the possibility to act like a utility token to be used as a governance way to just share the possibility to act and to decide all about what will be the decision of the protocol on the long run. But yeah, you're right. There will be debate in general about what is an utility, what is a governance token. As a former member of the parliament, I work a lot on this crypto regulation. In Europe, we have, let's say, some clear rules, and it will be also a subject during the next month for the US policy. So we need to clarify that. It's clearly a very much important point. As entrepreneurs, but also investors, we need to have some clarification about what is a token and what is a utility or security token.
As a former politician, over here in the United States, we talk about this revolving door from government to the private sector. It's very prevalent in the crypto industry. Would you say that you have a little bit more influence when it comes to government, especially since you were involved in creating some of the regulation over in Europe?
I think I had influence when I was elected. I'm just a simple entrepreneur right now, so it's very different. But yeah, what I think I would try my best to continue to educate people, educate public deciders, because it's quite important for us that everyone understands the power of crypto. So crypto is not just about speculation, it's a new way to just conceptualize and invent finance. And so we need to create all the regulation framework for security for users, but also for entrepreneurs, because many entrepreneurs in crypto try to make the good. And the idea behind that is that we need to offer them some security also.
As someone who is now an entrepreneur working in the private sector, what do you think needs to happen when it comes to crypto regulation or legislation in Europe?
Yeah, so we have a new law called MiCA that will enter in force during the next months. So it's a great setup as it will help also to have some clarification about stablecoin, utility token, security token, and what will be the rules to obtain license in Europe. I have tried my best during 5 years as a member of parliament to clarify the rules, to attract capitals, to offer the companies the possibility to install the headquarters and to have some security, so to have low security. And I think MiCA will help a lot crypto entrepreneurs to have a clear setup, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and so on. So it will be helpful. I think overall, all over the world, the crypto regulation is being created in Asia, in US also. So it will help also crypto to be mainstream, to democratize itself, to allow also TradFi to change, to modify their system and also their behaviors. And so I think it's a good thing.
Pierre, I have to ask you, I have to come back to this. When we think about private citizens moving from job to job, we often have friends who are at our previous jobs who we can call up and say, hey, did you hear about this? And so I think it's hard for folks to hear you say that you don't have any more influence in government, especially when it comes to crypto legislation. How would you respond to those people?
I think, I decided to quit politics also because I wanted to create something that is political, because crypto is political. Crypto is around fairness, decentralization, and so on. So the idea behind Usual is also a political project in a good way, because we want also to create something that corresponds to the Web3 ethos. So I will continue my fight, if I can say that, to modify also finance. And I think all crypto entrepreneurs are doing the same. They want to have more transparency in the financial system and so on. So I think, it's quite linked to what I believe. I was a believer when I was in politics, and I was trying to help also what is the crypto industry, because I think it's quite disruptive. It's like AI and so on. And I will continue to do like my duty as a crypto entrepreneur.
Okay, let's come back to this governance piece now. I just came back from ETH Denver, and a conversation that's been ongoing, not just at ETH Denver this year, but for a few years now, is actually incentivizing people to take part in governance. So you have a governance token. How are you incentivizing people to actually care about what's going on with Usual and actually add their voices to the conversation? Because it's a little bit harder than it sounds like in theory.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I think what is quite important in crypto, it's mainly around tokenomics. The beauty of crypto is that you can create alignment around game theory through the utility of the token, the fact that you can take a part of the governance. I think we need also, as a crypto entrepreneurs, to create more innovation on how we distribute the value, how we distribute the power, how we align people, and so on. So clearly, I will not disclose how totally usual is working because we will create some great announcement during the next months. But the idea behind usual token is to redistribute all the value, and the value for Circle Tether is not only the revenue, right? It's how also they react in terms of collateral policy, how they can also incentivize the liquidity of the stablecoin. Stablecoin is a mean of payment at the end. So the idea is also to spread the network. So we can do many things with crypto. And I think crypto needs also great tokenomics to align the interest of all the participants. It's not just speculation. I think we have to have very transparent and fair way to distribute the value around the protocol. And so since 2 years, we are working on that with the team to have a better model than some crypto project these days, to be sure that people will have the good value they deserve.
When you envision the future of USD0, what's the killer use case? What do you think people are going to be using it for?
Firstly, I think mean of payment, stablecoin is a mean of payment, is a way of also to trade in DeFi. So as we are bridge between TradFi and DeFi, the first use case is that we will connect these two worlds. But at the end, all stablecoin as a mean of payment. So we would work closely with other stablecoin because clearly we need also to create some synergies. But at the end, the end game for stablecoin is a mean of payment to allow people just to keep their holding, their saving in stablecoin.
Pierre, we spoke about the MiCA regulation just a few minutes ago. It is coming into fruition in Europe. I have two questions for you about MiCA regulation. And the first is, what's the biggest misconception that folks have about MiCA regulation?
It's a tough question. I think the first one is, sometimes when you don't know a system, a technology, you just want to translate what is the actual system, what is the actual regulation to a new technology. Crypto blockchain is just a fully decentralized way to conceptualize finance. And on that, it's, I think, a mistake when you just translate the actual regulation on centralized bank, centralized issuer, and so on a decentralized issuer. So sometimes I regret a little bit that the regulation is just too much a translation on the actual one. So we need to create also innovation when you are a policymaker. We need also to find new way to regulate, because you cannot just transpose the actual regulation to a new technology that doesn't working like the old one.
Okay, that's the biggest misconception.
Yeah.
What do you think the MiCA regulation has got really right when compared to other regions around the world who are trying to figure out crypto regulation?
I think we embrace in Europe the potential of this technology. So we didn't decide just to forbid. There was debate on what is the idea behind Bitcoin, what is the utility behind Bitcoin, but just we leave that on the side and we say, okay, this will be used by people. Not everyone has banking account. In Europe or in the United States, you have a money that is solid. But it's not the case everywhere. So we need to consider that will be the future of financial infrastructure. And so I think the global idea behind MiCA is a good idea. We need to regulate, to offer a clear framework for people who want to create company, when business, attract capitals, and just take risk. And so regulation cannot be a risk. When you are a company, there is too much risk, economical risk, your users, and so on. But the regulation doesn't need to be a risk. So it's why I think MiCA is a quite good setup, because it will offer a clear framework for crypto entrepreneurs.
Pierre, thanks so much for joining the show today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was shared.
That was Usual CEO Pierre Person.